Go design your own rule book. Go design your own, we were talking about that with a client today. Go design your own rule book, because your relationship is supposed to bring meaning to your life.
Sometimes it feels like, okay, so Emilia and I each shared a date night and a date day respectively. The date night was kind of mine. The date day was kind of hers, but that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it and she didn't enjoy it.
Right.
And so there's you can design a date night, the perfect date night for one partner or for both partners.
Conscious couples, business partners, and singles committed to attracting their dream partner. Welcome to the Conscious Couples podcast, where we share our life, love story, and combined relationship expertise to help you create and consistently cultivate the most magnificent, intimate relationship possible.
Never again will you feel hopeless and alone in your intimate relationship challenges.
Having accumulated thousands of hours coaching conscious couples and individuals all over the world, as well as starting and growing a global business together, Alan and I are here to guide you in all things relationships.
Thank you again for tuning into the one place where it's not about you or me, it's about the we. Conscious couples and individuals, welcome back. We're in giggly moods today. Thank you for listening as always. Today we have episode number 96 for you, designing your perfect date night or day.
Ooh.
Okay. Before we jump into this episode, as always, two things. Number one, Next Level Podcast Solutions, thank you so much for producing this show and so many others, dozens of others. I just don't know the actual number right now, but thank you, thank you, thank you. All the good that you're doing is helping so much good spread in the world through the interwebs. Thank you. Audio, video, all the rest. So if you are out there and you want to start a podcast, reach out. As always, love. The second thing is, ladies first, what is your intention for today's episode?
My intention for our listeners in today's episode is to help empower and inspire them to actually design the perfect, or as close as possible to their perfect date day or date night per the episodes suggested.
Okay, so we have several stories that we were thinking about that will really make this concept land. But Emilia and I, the one that we chose is, so the idea underneath this is love languages. If you're a long-term listener to the show, you know what love languages are. You've probably done some form of a love language assessment. If you're new to this show, thank you for listening. Welcome, new listener. And love languages are essentially, we have the top 25 love languages, conscious love languages. There's a book by Gary Chapman called The Top 5 Love Languages, or called The 5 Love Languages, I think.
The 5 love languages?
Yeah. Acts of service, gift giving, physical touch, quality time, and there's one more, acts of service. Words of affirmation.
We always get the last
Words of affirmation, yeah. So you look great today.
Mm-hmm.
You do look great today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As
You're welcome.
you.
That's an example of words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so the idea underneath this is stacking those for your date night.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get into the story, Emilia and I had a perfect date night. We designed a perfect date night for me.
Mm-hmm.
This was about me more than it was about Emilia. But to me, the cup fillers, the love languages that I adore, my top ones, fitness, food, and movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so imagine we go to the gym. Imagine we go to the movies. And at the movies, we get a ton of food. That sounds like the perfect evening to me. And so we did that. We went and saw The Marvels, which was actually really, really good.
Amazing.
Yeah. And we got one of those theaters where it's comfy seats. I picked the wrong theater on accident, so it was a whole thing. But we ordered a bunch of food. We got chicken Sammys. I got a burger. We got nachos. No, not nachos. You got an icy.
I got something.
I got Swedish fish. I got a full cow monster. It was one of those nights where you know if you did this often, you'd be in trouble with your health. But I'm being playful with that. But at the end of the day, those nights, I don't want to have to worry. We work out every single day. I want to splurge every now and then. Mm-hmm. And so that was a perfect date night, in my opinion. And the idea, again, underneath that is figure out your love languages, figure out your partner's love languages. What are the top ones? Mm-hmm. And then how do you stack them? And so Emilia's going to tell you a little bit about a date day that her and I had that was stacking of her love languages.
You rack 'em, stack 'em robots with the date days.
Nice.
So for me, it's more about the days. So my love language is what I've learned about myself. And this is something that, again, it's not to talk about me, although that's fun. You guys, I want you guys thinking about yourself and what is unique to you that would design this perfect date. Whether it's a day, whether it's an evening, maybe you're a night owl, maybe you like the darker night settings and that's more what you want. Maybe you're like me where days are way more fun and it's just the best. So the date day, the perfect date day for me in this instance, to give an example, it included food, always food. I think that that's something that Alan and I's love language both lands on, no matter what.
Definitely.
Include food, right? Can't
Huge
go wrong.
fan.
Then it included an adventure. So I've talked about before on this podcast, and we've talked about in terms of love languages, like number one love language, or in top 5 at least, is adventure. So usually that's like a hike outside or something outdoors in nature.
Something in nature, something
Love
with
it.
variety, something with a little bit of spontaneity.
Something with a little bit of a challenge in it too. I like the fitness component of like the outdoors, right? So it involved that. We did some sort or another of a hike, outdoor adventure that had a beautiful challenge in it, beautiful scenery. It was just amazing. And then in addition to that, we also went to, I believe it was the bookstore. We went to the bookstore and I love books. I love learning. I love
We went
growth.
to the kids section
We went to the kids section.
and we sat down and we had little coffees
yeah,
at
it was
Starbucks,
so
little
sweet.
Starbucks things.
Yeah.
And we were in the kids section reading
Yeah.
psychology, finance, all kinds of different
Yeah.
things. And then the kids just randomly started to gravitate toward us.
Towards us. And their parents like, don't go near them. Like they're obviously something wrong with them.
And the parents were sitting there thinking to themselves, why are you guys taking up the kids section without any
Right.
children?
Right.
We were just looking for some chairs.
Yeah.
Because the coffee place was kind of mobbed. But at the end of the day, the idea here is stacking love languages.
Yeah.
So Emilia loves books, loves to read, loves quality time, loves fitness, loves the outdoors, especially anything outdoors, loves during the day,
Loves tranquility.
and loves food. And so we stacked all of those.
Yeah.
And I think that we went on a hike that day. I forget exactly where, but it was definitely in nature. And I'm pretty sure we brought egg Sammys with us.
Yeah.
So there's this place nearby called Jumbo Donuts that it has the best egg sandwiches.
so
Croissant, egg and cheese on a croissant.
good. We got to go there tomorrow.
It's unbelievable. So if you want to go there tomorrow, I'm game. Although we're going to have a lot of food at the holiday event. So we'll see.
We'll see. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, sounds good. So, but that's the idea here. And so what we want you to do is start thinking about your own cup fillers, your own love languages. And by the way, a cup filler and a love language, kind of the same thing. A cup filler is more of maybe love languages stacked together at the end of the day. And we have an asset in the show notes for you of the 25 conscious love languages. Emilia and I coach a lot of couples from all different backgrounds, some married, some together for brand new, some married 14 years. And what we've found is that love languages, there's a lot more than 5.
Way more.
Yeah, and we've narrowed it down, we've expanded it, we've contracted it, and this is the best list we've come up with. Goals and dreams is on there, fitness is on there, understanding one's trauma is on there, deep conversations is on there. So check that out. The link is in the show notes. It's a PDF. You can pull it up right on your phone. And hopefully what you can do is go through this with your partner and rate them from 0 to 10 so that you understand what your 10s are.
So true.
Your top ones are.
And here's the thing, like a lot of us don't really feel like we're in the designer seat of our own life oftentimes because there's a lot of unconscious expectations that when you're in a relationship, you just think that, okay, well, if I do this, if I do that, if I do this, then we're going to have a meaningful relationship. The key here is though, that honestly, what a meaningful relationship is, it looks so unique and is so different person to person. So your relationship is going to be so unique in the sense that both of you have cup fillers and things that bring meaning into your life that you both can be the co-creators, the co-designers of what the perfect date night, date day, or even for you, it might be date morning, right? Like, so I don't want our listeners thinking that designing it only has to be within the parameters of what you guys might be thinking of initially of what that perfect date looks like, taking into account what you might have seen growing up or taking into account what the movies might be portraying as you grow older and as you consume media. I want you guys to think outside of the box because that when you think outside of the box of what brings meaning into your life and you actually start to reflect on those questions around what would be a meaningful day shared with my partner, there's so much amazing things that can come as a result of that reflection of what is meaningful for me. Because in, I think, both of the examples that we shared and what we've learned through coaching so many individuals and trying to help them create a more meaningful partnership and relationship is in that question mark. When you ask those questions, what would be a meaningful date, day, date, night? Is it a night? Is it a day? Expanding what the parameters of those boxes look like. And we've even had a couple clients of ours who, when we expanded and explored this designer component, really put the designer within their, if you will, role, they realized that one of the most perfect days actually included the family too.
Mm-hmm.
It included their kids too. It included just beyond the one-on-one partnership time, which is really cool because, again, it doesn't have to look like the way in which the movies have portrayed, the way in which you've seen growing up. You can design your perfect date night, date day, date morning, whatever, so long as you take on the role of the designer. So hopefully this episode will help you encourage to lean more into that designer role, because I do believe that there's not a lot of people encouraging us to go design your own rule book, go design your own, we were talking about that with a client today, go design your own rule book, because your relationship is supposed to bring meaning to your life.
Hi, I'm Derek, and I just wanted to talk about relationship talks with Alan and Emilia. If you're looking to get some help on working with your relationships, you should definitely give them a shot. They can help you identify certain patterns on things that maybe you didn't realize that you've done or that have happened. And if you want to be able to just start really kind of narrowing down the things that you can work on now that'll help you be more efficient for future relationships or even the one that you're in, they are definitely the ones to go see, as clearly they lead an example of what a great relationship should look like. And just in general, they're both incredibly intelligent and smart with just being able to pick out the things that maybe either you missed or that you knew but didn't really quite click yet. So you should definitely give them a shot, because they're very, very helpful and efficient at what they do.
The last thing that I wanted to share here, too, that I think is fascinating is sometimes it feels like, okay, so Emilia and I each shared a date night and a date day, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
The date night was kind of mine. The date day was kind of hers, but that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it and she didn't enjoy it.
Right.
And so there's kind of, you can design a date night, the perfect date night for one partner or for both partners.
Right.
And so one other tangible example here that a client used is one of my team members and a past relationship talks coaching client of ours loves bass fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Loves bass fishing. So bass fishing for her was like 10 out of 10. You're out in nature, you're on the boat, time to think, bass fishing.
Fun.
And that was an example of a date day that she really loved. Whereas the guy in the relationship, he wanted to go to a fair with the kids, and that was like his perfect date day.
Right.
And so the idea here really is simple. Sit down, get intentional. Sit down, figure out what your perfect day would look like, figure out what your perfect night would look like, and then stack some of those. And sometimes you're not going to be able to do all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've told Emilia before, it's like, listen, we're not going to be able to do. I remember one time I wanted to design her perfect birthday. And I came downstairs and I did a little semi-performance of, I had all these lists listed out, everything that she loves. It was like the biggest list of everything she loves. And I kind of performed it for her. It was actually really fun. But we ended up doing, I think, 80% of it. But it was very challenging to get them all in.
Right.
So don't overcomplicate this. Listen, fitness, food, and movie. Tonight, we're going to go to the gym after this. We're going to get hit legs. We're going to get sushi. I love sushi. I'm obsessed. And we're going to watch a movie. That is going to be the perfect date night. So don't get hung up on the word perfect, because there is no such thing.
Right.
Okay? Yes, design ideal, knowing that nothing's ever ideal.
I'm glad you shared that. And in closing, what I want to share is actually really supporting what you said around when you play the long game when it comes to your relationships. You realize that date nights or date days or date mornings, whatever the construct of time and when this perfect quote unquote or ideal is actually executed within, you might just have the focal point for that date date night, date morning be on just one of the partners. That doesn't mean that you're going to take a loss as the partner in that, trying to support that. And I think that there's actually a lot of fun that we've been able to experience and a lot of joy and meaning that we've been able to experience in our relationship, and also encourage in other relationships where you can actually say, hey, is it okay that the focal point is on you tonight? And tomorrow or the next date, the focal point is on me. Or the third one that we put in the span of 2 weeks, maybe the date
will be
it's actually
where we
on the
integrate
we.
both.
Right.
So I want to go to the gym, you and I want to get a big meal after,
Right.
but you also want to read and do candlelight.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, is you can design them for one partner, where one partner is okay with that. It's 80-20.
Yeah.
And then you can go the other way with it, or you can do a 50-50.
Integration.
You know, let's go to the bookstore and go to the movies.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Beautiful.
And so the real last through line here is be intentional.
Yeah.
And you can't be intentional when you don't know yourself, and when you don't know your partner, and when you don't know your love languages. So at very least, check out the digital asset, look at the 25 love languages, look at which ones are the top ones, and start designing some mornings, evenings, afternoons, whatever, weekends intentionally.
Yeah.
And on your next trip that you go together, you can also incorporate these, because we all sort of presuppose that everything's going to just work out. And the truth is, it's not true. It's nothing's just going to work out.
Facts.
Things get better by design, not by accident.
I love that.
Okay.
And we're so pro that. So with that said, by design, babe, what do people have to look forward to every single Saturday with us?
Go ahead.
Well, every single Saturday, relationship talks coaching, but Alan will talk about that after I first talk about the event that is coming up. If you're listening to this episode, it's going to be not this coming Thursday, but the Thursday after that. So December 21st at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every single month we have a different relationship talks event.
This is number 30?
This is number 30. So we're taking
30
our
months in a row.
30 months of combined awareness and packaging it into this 1 hour event where conscious couples and conscious singles gather.
It only took us 30 times to figure it out.
We're going to gather so that we can discuss really the biggest components underneath honoring relationship boundaries during the holidays. We all know that we're struggling at this time of year when it's going to be, we're going to be, I won't say what I was going to say, but knee deep in the holiday season. And when we are in that, we are struggling to really honor those boundaries and honoring relationship boundaries at that. So we're going to dig into that. We hope to see you there. You don't have to join with your camera on or your mic on. You can literally just listen in, and we would love to have you. The link to register to join us will be in the show notes.
And to make this super tangible, think of this. Everyone out there listening or watching this, think of something that you're going to be doing during the holidays that you really don't want to do. You feel pressured, you feel guilted, you have to go here, you have to do that, you're running around, you have to get this gift for this person. And there's a part of you that's like, you know what? I don't even know if that's aligned anymore. I don't even know if that's something I want to do. Do I really want to go there this year? Do I want to have that conversation again with that person? Honoring relationship boundaries means you and your partner are going to get on a team. And you're going to together have your own sort of force field so that you can go into the holidays on a united front, because sometimes the holidays feels like going to war.
Yeah, and you feel disconnected from your partner, and it makes it even more lonely and even more stressful when you're disconnected from your partner during the holiday season.
And we've all had those times where after the holidays were over, we're just like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, why did that go so poorly? That was supposed to be fun, right?
Right.
That whole thing. Also, if you need help or guidance in achieving your goals, not only in your relationship, but individually and collectively, we have something called Relationship Talks Coaching. We do it every Saturday for free, a half an hour. The link will be in the show notes. And the difference between couples counseling and relationship talks coaching is relationship talks coaching is much more proactive. It's much more goal-oriented. It's much more future-oriented. If you want to build a bigger, better, brighter future with your partner, and honestly make sure that you and your partner grow together and not apart, that's what we do. Our clients swear by it. We were on with a couple clients earlier today, and we literally asked them 0 to 10, where are you guys at with your finances? And they both said 10. Where are you at with your families? They said 10. And I said, where are you at with fitness? And they said, I think 9 and 7. But it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
When we first met you two, I mean, you know, it's unbelievable what's happened over time. So let us help you, help yourself. Click that link in the show notes, and we hope to talk to you soon. And that's that. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening. And it's not about you or me. It's about the we and also me.
Talk to you soon, everyone.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Conscious Couples podcast. We love connecting with the Conscious Couples community, so please make sure you follow us on Instagram. I am at Evolve with Emilia, and Alan is a Lazaros 88.
Also, if you or your partner resonated with this episode, leave us a review at the link in the show notes, and please share this with someone you love and care about.
Until next time, remember, it's not about you or me. It's about
the we.